Hi, I'm Jordan from Kettner Creative. In this video, we're going to show you how to set up and connect the Rode PodMic Dynamic Microphone to the Presonus Audiobox USB 96 audio interface. This is a very popular, low-cost, entry-level solution for podcast recording or voiceover work. That's really what this microphone is designed and marketed for, and the Presonus Audiobox is a great little audio interface that comes in at an affordable price point. If you do want pricing or you're looking to buy anything that you see in this video as we show you how to connect or set this microphone up, we do have links for everything that you see here in the description below, so you can check that out for current up-to-date pricing on anything in this video. Now, for the purposes of this video, the Presonus Audiobox audio interface is already connected to our laptop with the USB cable, so now we can go straight into setting this microphone up, and the first part of doing that is connecting the microphone to the audio interface with an XLR cable. Now, common question is that we always get in the comment section is it XLR, like male to male and male to female? Yes, it's all XLR cable is male to female. So it's very, very rare that you'll find XLR cable that has the same connector on both ends. By default, all XLR cables have one of each end just to help with signal flow, because there is a directionality with all this stuff. So we connect it to the back of the Rode PodMic, and we connect the XLR cable to the front of the audio interface. Now, the Rode PodMic is a dynamic microphone, and what that means is generally they require a little bit more gain. We'll talk about that in a second, but also it does not require 48 volts of phantom power, so we don't need to turn that on. In my experience, most modern dynamic microphones will never be hurt by 48 volts of phantom power. Sometimes you might hear some buzzing or clicking or something like that. It's resolved by turning that off, but you will not hurt the microphone. However, if you have a vintage ribbon microphone or something like that, it is actually possible to hurt those microphones. So as a general rule, don't turn on the phantom power unless you actually do need it. Now, before we turn up the gain on the audio interface, let's quickly talk about what the gain is doing and what the goal is and how we think the Presonus does with its audio interface gain. So every microphone out there, including the Rode PodMic, generates a very, very small analog microphone level audio signal that comes through the XLR cable into the preamp. The audio box does two things. The first thing it does is it will preamplify that signal, so it boosts it, and then it converts it to a digital signal for your computer. Now, that first part that it's doing, where it boosts the signal, the goal of the preamp is to make it basically as loud as you can make it, or have the most control over the volume as much as you want to be able to boost it, while introducing as little noise as possible. Now, the Presonus Audiobox, when we compare it to other audio interfaces in a similar price range, is one of the noisier audio interfaces, so it does introduce quite a bit of hiss and background noise. So we'll demonstrate that in a minute to see if you can hear the difference. If you don't hear the difference, then don't worry about it, but we do just want to talk about it a little bit as well. Okay, so we can start turning up the gain on this preamp now. I'm going to turn it all the way up to about 75%. As you look over at our computer, you can see that we're coming in at about minus 32 right now, so I'm going to turn it up a little bit more. It gets really sensitive at the end. You can see there it jumped from minus 26 to minus 10. We're at minus 23 right now. If I go one click higher, now we're at minus 12. So our goal with recording is to be somewhere between minus 18 and minus 12. That gives us 12 decibels of headroom when we're speaking or laughing or recording a podcast, because we don't want to risk peaking or clipping. Most plugins and most DAWs are really built for capturing audio between minus 18 and minus 12, and you can tell that we're just on the high end of that spectrum here. As I keep resetting, we're at about minus 13 right now. So we're at about 8.5, 9 out of 10, and now I'm just going to pause for a moment so you can hear how hard the preamp is working, and you can hear the noise that's coming out of the preamp itself. So in this category, the Presonus is one of the worst. It's one of the louder preamps. So I'm not confident, and I don't really like the amount of noise that we're getting. So what we're going to do is we're going to try this again. So right now we're at about 8.5, 9 out of 10. We're going to try it with the CloudLifter to see if we can reduce that amount of gain. I'm going to put this down, turn the preamp down, reset the meter in Logic. We're going to unplug the XLR cable. We're going to plug it into a CloudLifter. CloudLifter works the same as any other inline preamp. Basically what it does is it trades phantom power for reducing the amount of gain that the preamp has to do by about 20 decibels. They all vary, but the CloudLifter is somewhere in that range. I'm just going to plug it in. So we have an XLR cable going from the mic to the CloudLifter, another XLR cable going from the CloudLifter into the Presonus Audiobox. Now it doesn't work just by magic. We do need to power that CloudLifter. So as we discussed before, a dynamic microphone does not require 48 volts of phantom power, but the CloudLifter does. So we need to turn that on to power the CloudLifter. So now let's turn up the preamp on this audio box again, and I'm just going to reset the meter here. You can see that we're somewhere around minus 27, minus 24, minus 22, minus 21, and now we're in that range. So we're at about 7.5 out of 10 instead of 9 out of 10. So it is reduced quite a bit. So I'm going to pause for a moment here so you can hear the associated noise with this setup. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause for a second and I'm going to compare the two splices of noise that we've captured so far. So I'll edit the first one in from before and I'll put it against the solution with the CloudLifter so you can hear if there is less noise with these setups. So there we've heard it without the CloudLifter and with the CloudLifter. So I'm going to put this down now. So if you're recording, you do want to be somewhere between minus 18 and minus 12. If you're doing something live, I do recommend that you push it up to about minus 6 or so, just because your online guests, if you're live streaming or something like that, will complain if you're somewhere between minus 18 and minus 12. It won't be loud enough for them, but you do still want a little bit of that headroom. You don't want to peak your microphone or anything like that. The other recommendation with this setup is we always recommend using a windscreen. I'm going to put that on now so you can hear how it sounds. So here's the Rode PodMic with the CloudLifter, with the windscreen plugged into the Presonus Audiobox USB 96. I like the windscreen better. It does a better job of plosive protection, protecting against those P sounds and B sounds. It makes it sound nicer. It doesn't look too bad, but I do find that there's a pretty big jump in how this microphone sounds when you have the phone windscreen on it. So we do recommend that as well. If you have any questions about anything that we've covered in this video, please leave a comment in the comment section below. If you're looking for pricing or specs or looking to buy anything that you see in this video, we have a pile of links down in the description so you can help find exactly the one that we used in this video. And if you want to see more videos like this in the future, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.